Hello managers, how are you? The video that we are going to have here is a free session of FMA101, 105 and 400, which was hosted on the 24th July 2022, 6 p.m. Now, should you be interested in joining our WhatsApp group of FMA101, 105 and 400, there's a link provided there that is in the document. You can just open the document and click there, and then you'll be able to join. And if you need more information, you can just contact 079 031 2715 079 031 2715 on WhatsApp or call. Then you'll be assisted. So the topic that we're going to be covering in this video is share valuation. Okay, so share valuation is a very broad but very straightforward topic whereby we want to know the value of a share. So there's information over there which is provided that will just give you a basic understanding of what this topic is about. But should you want to learn more, you should read prescribed textbook. Okay, so we are told that a firm can obtain equity capital by issuing either ordinary shares or preference shares. So most firms they obtain capital, which is equity, not just any capital, because there's different types of capitals, but equity, by issuing ordinary shares to shareholders. Some firms later on issue preference shares to obtain more equity capital. Now, both ordinary shares and preference shares are equity capital. The difference is preference shares has similar qualities to debt capital, which is loan. So like I said, there's different types of capitals. So we have authorized shares, which is number of shares a firm is allowed to issue. These are not issued, but they can be issued later on. Then we have issued shares. These are number of shares a firm has issued to shareholders. These are already sold to the shareholders. Then you have dividends, which is monies paid to shareholders. The payment is at the discretion of board directors. There I wrote direction, which is a typo. So it's at the discretion of board of directors. So the board of directors are the ones that decides how much and when it should be paid. And then we are told that ordinary shareholders usually expect to be paid in dividends, cash flow, or increasing value in shares. So what this means is that when you buy a share, you expect to make dividends from that share, because a share is basically rights to dividends, or you expect the value of the share to increase so that you can sell at a profit. Okay, that's what ordinary shareholders usually expect. So there are multiple methods of share valuation. So we can find the value of a share using multiple methods. Of course, that is because of conditions change. So you have zero growth model, you have constant growth model, you have variable growth model, and then you also have free cash flow share valuation. So in this video, we're going to be covering only zero growth model and constant growth model. So the zero growth model simply means the dividends do not grow. If they see that the dividends is 5 rands, it means they will be 5 rand for the foreseeable future. Okay, so hence the zero growth. There's no growth in terms of dividends. And then the constant growth model simply means the growth is the same throughout. So if they say that the growth is 5%, so that means it will grow, the dividends will grow at 5%. So for instance, if the dividends is 10 rands, that means there will next year be 10 rands 50 cent, and then so on. Okay, so those are the only two things we'll be covering in this video, but you should know all of them just to be on the safe side and to understand this topic fully. So the question that we have to deal with here states that Mr. Ledwaba estimates that the dividends paid on the ordinary share of Africa Academics Company, an established tutoring services company, is expected to remain constant at 4 rands per share indefinitely. If his required return on its ordinary share is 12%, what is the value of the share? Okay, so we have to analyze this statement so that it can make sense. We are told that Mr. Ludawa estimates that the dividends paid on the ordinary share of Africa Academics Company is expected to remain constant, okay? Remain constant at 4 rands per share indefinitely. And then the required return on the investment is 12%, okay? So the dividend is 4 rands per share, okay? And the growth of the dividend is constant, okay? It will remain constant. So constant means to say, when they say that they will remain constant at 4 rands, it means that it will not grow. So the growth is 0%, okay? This will remain constant at 4 rands. And then the required return is going to be 12%. So this is what Mr. Ludawa wants on his investments. So there is a formula for calculating the value of a share. Now the formula is, now over here you will have dividends. You can write D1, and then you have 1 plus G over the R minus G. So let me just explain what this symbols means. Now the D1, it is the current dividend paid. And then the G is the growth rate. And then the R, it is the required return, which is sometimes referred to as cost of capital, okay, or cost of equity. So be careful of these terms changing. The meaning usually do not change, but the terms can change, and that can unsettle you if you do not know these terms. So now let's substitute into our formula. Our D1, which is the current dividend paid, is 4 rands. So you'll say 1 plus the G, which is the growth rate, and that is 0%, divided by the R, which is the required return, is 12%, minus our G, which is 0%. Okay, so if you're using a Casio, then this should be straightforward for you. When you calculate, you only press once, and then you'll get the answer straightforward. Okay, so the answer that you will get over there is 33 rands 33 cents. Then if you round off to a whole number, it should be 33 rands per share. So this is the value of the share. Now this is for zero growth model. So we now move to constant growth model. The statement says Africa Academics, a small tutoring company, estimates that its dividends per share in 2022 will be 2 rands 50 cents. The shareholders require a return of 16% on their investment, and the expected future dividend growth rate is 8%. So we have broken down the statement, and then the question says, what is the value of the Africa Academics share? So we know that our dividends is 2 rand 50 cents. Okay, and then the required return is 16%, and then the future, the future growth dividend rate is 8%. So you can write down your formula, and then you substitute. Now since we know this, we will easily substitute right away. So you'll have your G there. This time is 8%, unlike last time. Then you'll have 16% minus 8%. So this should be straightforward as well. So you'll have 2 rands 50 cents, 1 plus 8% divided by 16% minus 8%. Okay, and then the value of the share should be 33 rands 75 cents. Should you round off to a whole number, it should be 34 rands per share. So this is the value of each share. Now this is the end of the session, and then our preparations for assignment and the exam have started. So should you be interested in joining, you can just click on the link that I've shared over here to join our FMA 101, 105 and 400 group, or you can just contact the number 0790312715 on WhatsApp to just get more information. Thank you.